Hi dear students, welcome back to my sessions. In our previous session, we discussed few problems on the source conversion, that is a practical voltage source to practical current source. In this session, we will discuss further conversion with example. In the session, in our previous session also we discussed with example that in different cases, in case 1, case 2, case 3, total we discussed in 4 cases. By decreasing the resistance from infinity to the 3 kilo ohms. In this class, we will discuss one more problem, that is comes under the example number 2. In this problem, just I am doing the conversion of practical current source to the practical voltage source. Right. Let me move to that slide. Right. This is also comes under the source conversion technique only. In our last class, we discussed till example number 1. In this class, we are moving to the example number 2. Right. And in that class, we concluded this. Hope you understand about this concept. Uh, we concluded this in our last class about this. Right. Hope you understand. These points are very important. You should note down these points. Right. Let me move to the next slide. In this slide, I'm taking the example number 2 by converting the current source, practical current source, to the practical voltage source. Here, please observe the circuit diagram. Here, I am giving the. Let me add marker. Here, I am giving the. Right. Here, I am taking the current source, and with the resistance which is parallel with this, with the resistance, and the here it is a load. In this load, the current flowing through the load and voltage across this load is constant. By converting voltage source by converting current source to the voltage source, or vice versa. So the conversion technique, the main aim to be after converting voltage source to current source or current source to voltage source, the load value should not be changed. That is the our basic rule. So let me do conversion. So here, same steps whatever I done on our example number 2. Here also I am going to for the different cases, the 3 to 4 different cases. Based on those cases, I am going to be conclusion how the current source is going to be affected while I am converting to the voltage source. Let you observe how the load is going to be affected while the increasing or while the decreasing the resistance of which is parallel to the current source, which is in internal resistance, which is in the term is known as is internal resistance. Let me move to the next slide. In this slide, first I'm converting. First I am converting. First I want to know the currents flowing through the load and voltage across this load. Right. So for this, I'm taking. So here I'm going to be find the load current. This is the load current. How I'm going to be find the load current? Same current division rule, CDR. Already you know that what is the current division rule states. It is a state like this: total current into multiply with the opposite value of resistance by, means a denominator is comes is a summation of all the resistances which is in the circuit. So same. So here that this is the current which I am going to be finding flowing through this. Here I know the total current into, and the opposite value of resistance is 50 ohms. Please observe here 50 ohms, and by total value of resistance in the circuit which is in opposite and same value of resistance. Then after doing this calculus, so I will get, sorry, I will get total current. This is the total current IL which is flowing through this load. Please observe this. This is very important. So this is total current. This is fixed. Right. Next, for the finding of voltage across the load or output voltage, which is also with the multiplication of current and the resistance across the load, means current is nothing but the current which is in IL and the resistance which is in RL. So if you multiply with the IL and RL, means already you know IL is nothing but a 0.714 milliamps into 300 ohms. Then you will get a voltage across this load. Then finally you got the current, and you got the voltage. Means based on this fixed value of this IL, VL and RL. So you should not vary this IL, VL and RL. These values are fixed. Even though you are converting voltage source to current source or current source to voltage source, these three values are fixed. Means the output terminals are going to be fixed based on the input, right? So IL and VL, RL are fixed. Then try to measure the voltage. How the try to measure the power across these three different sources. Sorry, so these two different elements. So first PL means load power across load, then also power across consumption of power at internal resistance, consumption of power at load. For the finding of power across load, you should multiply with VL and VL and IL. Already you know VL and IL. This after multiplication of this, you will get PL. Means power across load means consumption of power by load. Same consumption of power by internal resistance, that is RS, R suffix S means source resistance. So here for the finding of internal resistance, you should know again voltage across this means VRS. VRS is nothing but the same voltage VL will be appear across this resistance of RS. Why? Because the voltage of parallel is same. Already you know that basic rule. Voltage across voltage in parallel same, the current in series same. So same here, the voltage across the parallel means VRL, the voltage across this VL is equals to VRS. VL is equals to, because the parallel is same now, VL is equals to V suffix RS. So means if the voltage, this is 0.214, the same voltage will be applied. That is the reason I wrote 0.214, which is multiplication of current flowing through this resistance of internal resistance. So for the finding of current flowing through this, if I mention this is IRS, means how I'm going to be find this IRS, because this is the input current, this is output current, means this is delivered current. What about the rest of the current? Means input current minus delivered current is equals to rest of the current. Same. So 5 milliamps minus 0.74, then you will get some amps of current will be flowing through this internal resistance of RS. Then that current multiply with the voltage across the RS, then you will get power consumption by internal resistance RS. Then after you adding these two powers, you will get total power delivered by the source means IS. Hope you got it. Total power delivered, this is not VS, this is IS. Total power delivered by source, or you can name it as VS also, that is also right, that is not wrong. So total power delivered by IS. So hence 1.07 milliwatts power will delivered by source to two different resistance. One is internal resistance, one is load resistance. Hope you clear. Now this is my output part, means IL line, VL, RL. Now if while I'm converting this current source to the voltage source, I should draw a basic equivalent circuit diagram of non-ideal voltage source. How that voltage source will be appear. So this is a basic equivalent circuit diagram, already you know. Basic equivalent voltage source, non-ideal voltage source circuit diagram. While my internal resistance, here my internal resistance is 0. Means if I don't want to mention the internal but initial I used to take internal resistance is 0. That what I included, this is RS is equals to 0 ohms. Hope you clear. So internal resistance is 0. That is the reason I didn't mention that. Instead of mentioning the line, I use this RS term. Means there is a value of resistance is there, but that value is 0 ohms. So for the indication of RS is presence is there based on the naming of 0 ohms. right? Hope you clear. So Vs is equals to VL. Same voltage will be appear. Let me remove this. So same voltage, because this voltage, if the series with the voltage source Rs is equals to 0 ohms, there is a resistance is there like this. So there is a resistance is there. This resistance value is 0 ohms. What is the value of resistance? 0 ohms. Rs is the short circuit, means there is a short circuit, which means the voltage source is ideal. So for the making of ideal, so I'm taking two different, all the different cases. This is case one. What is the case one? Case one is while my resistance is 0. Slowly I'm going to be increasing the value of this resistance. How my Vs, VL, how my source voltage, load voltage, and my source current, load current is going to be affected uh, based on finding the powers, right? So here, since this is a 0 ohms, for the finding of Vs and VL both same, because if you make the output open circuit, because since there is no internal resistance, then the total current which is delivered by this source will going to be meet this load. Then after meeting this load, IL and RL, then you will get VL. That VL is same as the source voltage. Hope you clear. Means RS IL into RL is nothing but a VL. Then the VS, then VS VL both are same, because there is no drop in the internal. That is the reason the VS is equals to VL. VS is equals to VL. I for the finding of IL, same 0 point, same values you will get. I whatever you are getting in previous IL VS, you will get same value, because my internal resistance 0. That is the reason you will get same value. See, 0.714 after multiplying with the 0.714 into 300, you will get 0.214. Then after multiplying with this current, load current, already you know this load current, or you know the VS, this values, you know, if you substitute those 0.214 over here, you will get BL, right? And you will get IL also, you know, in previous side 0.714. If you substitute 0.714, you will get this same value of voltage. So you can do in different ways after for the finding of VL and IL. So here also I'm going to be finding the IL and VL. These are the constant for the converting. IL and VL also constant. What about the power? For the consumption of power, here you will get only one term. Means here you receive two terms. One is for the load, one is for the internal resistance. But here there is no load. Since there is no load, only one one load, means one power consumption element, that is load itself only. So then for that finding of power, you required one, now you need to be find the only one element, that is 300 ohms. So for the 300 ohms, for the finding of power, VLIL. So as you know, VLIL is nothing but a 0.153. Since there is a no internal resistance, then PL is equals to PVS. Means supply power, power total power from supply is equals to total load consumable from the supply. Here, why the supply is equals to load? Since there is a no internal resistance for the using the current for the creating of power drop. That is the reason, if there is no internal resistance, the total current is going to be total voltage is going to be consumable at load. But this is practical, this is not possible. That is the reason I took it as a, that is the reason I'm going to be taking some other condition. This is condition number 2, means case number 2. In case number 2, instead of Rs is equals to 0 ohms, I'm going to be taking 50 ohms. While I'm taking the 50 ohms, how my uh, VL and IL is going to be, VL and IL is going to be affect. Then if you finding the, by using the resistance is 50 ohms. So here I'm going to be finding voltage source by knowing elements. Already I know I assumed RS is a 50 ohms, right? RS is a 50 ohms. RL I know 300 ohms. Based on the law of voltage division rule, VDR. Already you know this law, VDR, and we solved many problems on this law, VDR and CDR. So in the VDR, already you know, for the finding of unknown voltage, you should depend upon the known parameters, which is a total supply voltage. Total supply voltage. So first I should write like this: VL for the finding of voltage across this load. VL. Already I know the voltage source value at a load. So let me write this equation in this way: total finding the voltage resistance by total resistance means RS plus RL multiply with RS plus RL multiply with the voltage source, total voltage. But here I know the value of VL, RL, RS plus RL, but I don't know the value of VS. So that is the reason I send this denominator into this VL, then this RL will become a denominator, then the equation will be like this. Hope it clear. So here this is RL plus RS. Then after substituting of 300 ohms and 50 ohms by 300 ohms, 0.214, already you know voltage is a fixed value. Already in the problem itself, by the initial stage, you found this value 50 ohms, right? So this 50 ohms and sorry, this 0.214 voltage value. Then multiply this 0.214 in with the resistance, with the equivalent resistance, then you will get 0.25. Here the voltage is increased. Observe this point. While you are increasing the value of resistance, initial my voltage is 0.214, right? While my resistance is 0, my voltage is 0.214, sorry. While I'm increasing the value of 50 ohms, my voltage increases 0.25 ohms, right? Then after the increasing the value, then my current should be constant. That is what I said in initial of these rules. VL and IL should not vary. So this is VL. Already I know the VL. VL is the value 0.214 by RL. Then you will get this constant current, which is um, drawn by load, and this is a constant voltage which is across the load. So then now you need to be find the power, but power is going to be vary because my internal resistance is changed now. So then the consumption of total delivered to the source and the internal resistance, my internal power is going to be changed, either maybe increase or decrease. While I'm increasing the value of the resistance, my power also increases. That is the reason this is a point 0.0179 is a comes to the picture. Let me see how the 0.0179 is came to the answer. Then for the finding of power supplied by the source means Vs. So the power is going to be utilized by two elements. One is internal resistance. One is load resistance. So then you need to be find the voltage across this internal resistance and current flowing through the internal resistance. Also you need to be find the voltage across the load and the current flowing through the load. For that, VL into IL plus VRS into IRS. The current is in series, so total current is same. That is the reason I added 0.74, but the voltage is going to be divided because the voltage in series is not same. The current only same in the series elements, in the series connection. So here for the finding of voltage, already I know the voltage of VL. Then this is a delivered. So this is supply. This is already delivered. Then the rest of voltage means supply minus Vs minus VL. Then you will get the loss of voltage, means voltage drop across this resistance, that is 0.25 minus 0.14. Some of the value in the 0.00 points will come as a voltage across the internal resistance. Then after multiplying with the voltage and the current which is traveling flowing through the resistance of the both the resistances, then you will get the total power consumable by total power delivered by source. So that power is 0.179 milliwatts. Then let me increase the voltage, let me increase the resistance into the 300 ohms, means already our question itself, uh, 300 ohms. Let me increase 6 times. After the increase the resistance 6 times, 300 ohms. Then the Vs, how the Vs is going to be affected. For the finding of voltage source voltage, you should depend upon the known parameters. This is Rs, RL and VL. This already you known parameters. Then after doing the some rule, that is VDR, voltage division rule, then you will get the total voltage across the source, right? That is 0.418 will be appeared across the source. Then for the finding of IL and IVS, both are same because this is in series element now. So total current is flowing through this complete path is same because all these two resistors are connected series, but only voltage is going to be variable, right? For the finding of voltage, you should depend upon the again drop principle. So this is the supply current, this is the deliver current, and the rest of, sorry, supply voltage and delivered voltage, and the rest of the voltage will be appeared in the terms of loss, that is the voltage drop. Voltage drop is not utilized, so that is the internal drop because that is internal resistance now, so internal drop is itself is there. So now let me find the power which is delivered by the source. So power delivered by the source is equals to power consumable by internal resistance and power consumable by load. So here with the power consumable by internal resistance, PRS is equals to voltage across the internal resistance and current flowing through the internal resistance plus power voltage across the load multiply with the current flowing through the load. These all parameters, if you substitute this all the numerical values in this equation, you will get total power supplied by the load. Please try to observe these points. Total power supplied by the load, sorry, supplied by source. Total power supplied by the source to load. So this is 0.306. Now I increase the 300 ohms to the 1 kilo ohms. After the increasing, how my power is, obviously my supply voltage will be increases because here the 0.418, if you compare with the previous slide, my supply voltage is increases 0.418. Now if I increase it further, 0.418 will be double, like this 0.927. If I added the resistance is 1 kilo ohms, here the 1 kilo ohms, if I use the 1 kilo ohm of the value of resistance, then the value, obviously my supply voltage will be increases, but my load voltage and the load current will be same, right? Means when the more resistance is there in the internal itself, you require the more power to satisfy your load. So that is the reason internal resistance is very mandatory. Always the internal resistance you should put a value of you should put a value in low ohms itself. Otherwise if you put in a high range of value, that the maximum power which is utilized by the internal machine itself, then how the delivered is going to be happen, the delivered is impossible. So for the making of, for the giving of delivered just milliwatts of power, you require the more watts of power at source. So always you should keep very small value of internal resistance. That is a economical way of giving supply to the load. So here, now let me find the already EL and VL is constant. This values are constant. Either may be increasing the resistance. It should not affect. That is our initial motto. So this is constant. Then for the finding of power, let me find the power at the source. Power at source is equals to power delivered to the internal resistance plus power delivered to the load. So if you multiply with these two terms, you will get the total power which is delivered by source, 0.662. So if you compare this all these cases, let me conclude this all these cases by writing over here. Then you will understand. Let me add these three cases. Let me see. So let me add this first. My value of resistance, then power, power is constant, means power Vs, supply power. I can write it as supplied power. Then my supply voltage Vs. Then my delivered power PL. What about my delivered voltage VL? So let me add the resistance values. Let me change my color. Marker color. Let me add this blue. So first initial stage, what is my value of resistance? 0 ohms. While my resistance is 0 ohms, so how much power? 0.153. While my resistance is 0 ohms, power is 0.153. Then what about the voltage? Vs 0.214, VL also 0.214, 0.214, 0.214. What about the power? Power load is cost to power sum, then 0.153, same voltage will be appear, same power will be appear, 0.153. What about voltage? It is 0 ohms, same voltage, 0.214, 0.214, right? Then after the increasing the value of resistance, how my power is going to be utilized? Power is going to be changed. Now I change the value of 50 ohms. 50 ohms. Now I change the value of 50 ohms. Sorry. Now I added the 50 ohms. What about the power? Power at source 0.179. I am not adding the milli again. 0.179. What about the voltage? Voltage will be 0.25. This is the voltage 0.25. 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. Then IL is same, and the power also same, because the PL is equals to VL and IL. 0.214, the same value will becomes 0.214 as initial, 0.214 into 0.73, 0.153. And what about the VL? VL also same at 50 ohms. VL also same, right? VL, right? All these two values are same values. I'm writing same. Next, if I increase the value 50 ohms to the 300 ohms, what about my power? Power is doubled, or 0.3, 0.306. And what about the value of initial voltage? Voltage will be also increased, 0.418, 0.418. Then what about the PL? Sorry, whatever the PL is the same. Power at load is same, because that is multiplied with the same 0.214 into 0.74, which is a VL and IL. And VL also same, this should not vary, so hence I'm going to be write the same indication by showing this lines. Then final 1 kilo ohms, how the 1 kilo ohms will be appear. I'm adding 1 kilo ohms over here, means 1000 ohms. 1 2 3. After adding the 1000 ohms means 3 times of 300 ohms, 3.2 times of 300 ohms. Then what about the power? 0.662, it will be double. 0.662 with power will be delivered from the source. Then what about the supply voltage? Vs is 0.927, also double. 0.927, 0.927. Then PL is constant, which is again multiply with the VL and IL, constant, right? Then VL also constant. Hence, if you observe, let me add my marker. If you observe this table, please observe this table. If you observe this table, you should note down few points. You should try to add few points by observing these types of tables, because this is called analysis in different cases. While I'm adding to the different cases means, then only you can conclude how the while changing the value of resistance, how my internal characteristics is going to be affected by making the constant arrangement of my output terminals, how my internal is going to be affected. That is the reason I added 4 different cases from 0 to 1 kilo ohms, means 0 to 1000 ohms, how my voltage is going to be affected in internal. Means what I want to conclude here, by changing the value of resistance means 0 to 1000 ohms, while my increasing value of resistance, my voltage also increases, supply voltage. This is my first point. What is my first point? While the changing of value of internal resistance means 0 to infinity, my voltage value also changes. This is my first point. My second point, while the changing of internal resistance, my power is also going to be affected. Means how the effect is going to be considered means increasing way of effect. While the changing of value means the range of value is increasing from 0 to many, means infinitive, my internal power consumption is also going to be affected. Means the resistance always directly proportional to voltage and power. Hope it clear. How you conclude, sir, this earlier stage my resistance is increases, how you show that line? Means right, this table is enough for you. Hope you clear. Let me move to the next slide. Please note down this point clearly. After the taking the all these cases, so all different cases, total 5 cases, right? Here 4. After observation of these 4 cases, so I'm going to be concluding these points. Voltage and power, that ideal voltage source needs to be supplied to the circuit increases, rs increases. Means as rs increases, my voltage also increases and the power also increases. That what I want to conclude. The power dissipated by RL is 50% of the power generated by ideal voltage source when RS is equal to RL. When RS is equal to RL means the 300 ohms is equal to 300 ohms. The same power means the input power over here. If you observe this, this is common point, because the total load is going to be delivered. Means if the load is the input supply is 0.306, means half of the power is going to be dissipated by the load and half of the power is dissipated by internal resistance. That what I included in this point. Please note on this point. These 2 points are very important, your examination point of view. And let me move to the next slide. So please, these 4 points are very important. Try to write it down these points. First point, an equivalent circuit is circuit where the voltage across the current flowing through a load RL are identical. As the sent resistor is in a real current source, decreases in magnitude, the current produced by the ideal current source must be increases. As the series resistor is a real voltage source, increases in magnitude, the voltage produced by the ideal voltage source must be increases. Last point, the power dissipated by RL is 50% of power produced by ideal source when RL is equal to RL. When RL is equal to RS. In our previous slide, I mentioned instead of power produced, I mentioned the power generated. So are ideal voltage sources and ideal current sources. So for a combination of voltage source and current source is nothing but a power. So that is the reason I mentioned only ideal source. Here you can mention voltage source or current source, but both are comes in the same consideration. RL is equals to RS. Then the 50% power is dissipated by RL itself only. So these 4 points are very important. Kindly go through these 4 points. Now let us solve a few problems. Right, example number 4. So for the converting of voltage source in the figure 9, this is the converting the voltage source. This is already in the voltage source terminology. Now you need to be converted to the current source and shown the equivalent circuit. The equivalent circuit for this solution is like this. So the equivalent circuit of this voltage source is like this. How the equivalent circuit will be there. So this is the current source IS, and the resistance is always in the parallel. Then this is the output. So here for the finding of IS, already you know the formula of IS. IS is equals to VS by RS. Then VS is already given 100 volts by RS is a 47 ohms. Then you will get 2.13. The value of this current source is 2.13, and the resistance is common 2.13, and the resistance is common, that is 47 ohms. 47 ohms. This is the way of converting current, so that is the indication in this figure. So in this figure you should conclude this. So this is 2.13, and I mentioned 2.13 to 47 ohms. So this is 2.13, and the resistance is RS. Then this is across A and B terminals. About this. So after converting VS RS into the IS RS, then you need to draw the equivalent circuit like this. So this is the equivalent circuit, shown the equivalent circuit of this problem. So you should write these types of wordings while you are solving the problem. The value of internal resistance RS of the equivalent current is the same as the internal resistance of voltage source. Therefore, the equivalent current source is like this. You should mention this wording, and after the end of the problem you should draw this equivalent circuit diagram after the converting voltage source to the current source. Right, let me see one more problem. Example number 5. In this example I given in current source, please convert the current source into the voltage source. Same thing for the converting of current source to the voltage source. What is the formula? Vs is equals to Is into Rs. Before that you should write this wording. The value of RS is same as the current source, right? That is the reason I mentioned same value, 1 kilo ohm. But here this resistance is internal resistance, which is series with the voltage. So for the finding of Vs, multiplication of Is and Rs means source current and source resistance, or supply current and supply resistance, or internal resistance 10 milliamps into 1 kilo ohm. Then you will get 10 volts. So you should substitute the 10 volts in your equivalent circuit over here, which is in series with your resistance, that is 10 kilo ohm, right? So did you observe clear again? So these are the types of problems on the source conversions. So these are the types of problems. Let me look at again. So these are the conversions. Please try to solve more problems related to the source conversions. After this, we will go for the theorems on our next session. Here, sound. So this is about today class, and hope you clear all the concepts. And if you have any doubts, please get back to me. And this is very important transformations before we are moving to the theorems. If you are not understanding about how the transformation is going to happen, it is very hard to learn about the theorems principles. And one more thing, on our next session, we are moving to the theorems directly. The theorems are superposition, Norton's, Thevenin's, and maximum power transfer theorem. While we are solving the theorems, we should understand the basic laws and rules, principles, which we already discussed in our chapter number 1. Please kindly go through those theorems, laws, and rules before you are starting the theorems, principles, and statements. Please, I am requesting all of you guys, kindly go through the chapter 1 again, and try to solve over the miss nodal and all the principles again. Then only you can able to solve those theorems principles in our next class. Otherwise it is very hard to learn the statements and the problems. So try to go through the chapter 1. Then after the chapter 1, try to look at this source transformation techniques also. Then it is very easy for you guys, if you know all this funda in chapter 1 and up of the chapter 2, then it is very easy to learn about the theorems, right? Hope you clear today's sessions, right? Thank you all. Thanks for your time. Have a good day. Bye bye.